Larry Savage.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Larry Savage of East Cobb. For the last few months, I have invested some of my time in exploring the work of the Development Authority of Cobb County. I'm not going to try to go over everything that I have learned about the Development Authority tonight. I have composed a report that I will email to you later this week. You can give it as much attention as you wish. In my view, the Development Authority, contrary to what I've heard, was not created by the state. The state created the law. The Development Authority was created by the Board of Commissioners. And so it would follow the Board of Commissioners to deal with the Development Authority if they start to run off track, which I believe they have. To put it in shortest possible terms, the incentive plans that they offer to attract jobs to Cobb County has defaulted into a tax policy where everybody gets a tax abatement. It's just that simple. They have abandoned the legal constraints that apply. We've got 7 pages of text here out of the Development Authority law that define a project that can be financed by the Development Authority. The Development Authority has chosen to abandon the 7 pages, and I've circled one paragraph that they have identified as their authority to finance projects and identify a project. Now, there was an attempt in the legislature in the past session to do exactly this, to throw out the 7 pages of definition and keep only the one paragraph. It did not pass, but the Development Authority of Cobb County is operating as though it did pass, and in fact, in their documents, when they approve a project, they identify paragraph N as their authority. So they are fully aware of what they're doing. But everything that provides a limitation on what they can do has been basically dismissed by the Development Authority without any legal provision for doing so. There are other issues. I believe there are some conflicts of interest. Contrary to popular opinion, Development Authority does not finance these projects. Their client has to have a bank loan lined up before he comes in. The Development Authority issues the bond in exchange for the financing of the bank, and they do this only to give them the legal cover to be the owner of the property so that they can take it off the tax digest, and that's the source of the tax abatement. So the provision that they're financing is not entirely accurate, but they do issue the bonds. The bond attorneys get their cut, and so it goes. But I think we have other issues as well. Since the mission seems to be creation of jobs, the 4 office buildings that are currently approved are all going to be populated with local people, with other local companies that are currently housed in other local buildings. They're just going to move locally into the new buildings. There are specific provisions in the law that describe what has to be in place for an office building to be granted the tax abatement, and they don't meet them, not even close. This applies to the in-house incentive committee as well. They have taken a very liberal view of what qualifies for the in-house incentives, and just about everything that comes to the door in the year 2015 gets approved. So I think it's something that requires exploration. I've given you a lot more information when it appears here in the email, probably a lot more information than you want, but I basically couldn't find a good place to cut it off. I had to give you the information as it fell and not based upon brevity. So if you have any questions when you see it, you certainly know how to get hold of me, and I hope we can see some improvement in the conduct. And so far, the 2015 projects will take about $10 million out of Cobb County's revenue and about $20 million out of the school district's revenue. And this is for an incentive plan that doesn't appear to have any incentive production or value whatever. Thank you.